Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5. It's NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station. And I'm also streaming everywhere: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Podchaser, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki, Live, Rumble, and more. I am your host, Dr. Marissa, your hashtag positively opinionated host who wants you to focus on your own reality show. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kanye talk at all, because I want you to be happy 88% of the time. But Dr. Marissa, why can't I be happy 100% of the time? Well, first of all, you just went through a pandemic, and we're still sort of going through the pandemic, depending on who you ask. And, bad things happen to good people. How can I be happy 100% of the time? Well, first of all, if you're not happy 100% of the time, that's okay, because you'd be dead. Only dead people can be happy. We need the contrast so that we know when we're happy and not. So my goal for you is 88%, which is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it is the majority of the time. And that's why this show focuses on tools and guests and topics that will help you to that end. And it is Thursday, which is traditionally my caller, commercial, and compliments day. So if you have a compliment that you'd like to give to anyone on the planet, go ahead and put it in the chat. I see eyeballs. Thank you for tuning in either on my YouTube channel, which is a free subscribe, or on my Facebook channel. And I'm so grateful that more and more of you are tuning in. My numbers are exponentially growing, and I'm so grateful to prove that good news does work. Good news does sell, and that you do not have to wake up and start with the what scrolling, or doom scrolling as they're calling it now. I'm trying to come up with a really funny name. And if you have a great name for what we do in the morning, I'm happy to credit you with that. Basically it's like you can spend an hour quicksanding in the news that is kind of old. And at the end of it is like, what does that mean for me? And so today I thought we would just put that moose on the table. And I found a study that looked at what top 4 things people are worried about. And I'm going to do like a headlines to heartlines and talk about exactly the things that might be going through your head, what consumes you in your brain, what you look for when you're scrolling, what news you look for, and then ask you the question, is it working for you? How much time do you actually spend worrying about things that you really don't have any control over? So we're going to go through that process today. I just did it for a client, and it was very well appreciated. So I'm bringing it to you, my listeners, free of charge, so that we can get to a space of feeling better. This is all about self-care. This is all about mental health matters. So if you're not feeling 88% positive, 88% good about yourself, 88% good about the world, then you'll want to stay tuned. And to help you start your day in the most positive way, I invite you always to have breakfast with me in the morning and take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Oh, by the way, we're also going to have 2 little interviews to cover commercials, and one is for Denver. So if you've ever wondered about what's there to visit in Denver, I have something for you from Jennifer Weatherhead, and she's a travel expert, and we have some audio visual for you. So if you're just listening right now, you'll want to get on my YouTube channel so you can actually watch as well. And I also have an interview with one of my favorite people in the world who was responsible for my book launch of 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And that launched at her store in Long Beach, which unfortunately is not there anymore. But I still do book signings, and I just was at her Berkeley, California location. And so got a soundbite with her that I'm going to share with you as well. So if you're in Northern California, you'll definitely want to go and check out Ferns Garden. But we have a little interview with her, and you'll get to meet her. That's later on in the show. So back to gratitude sandwich. What are 8 specific things that you are grateful for? So this is the only rule really is that it's specific, and you can't just say, I'm grateful for friends and family. It is so important to really highlight. Good morning, Ismail. And he's tuning in from Riverside, a long-term supporter of me and the show. Wonderful always to see you. And if you want to play the gratitudes, I will put your responses up if you'd like. Or even if you let me know if you want to come in studio, and I'll give you the link. So what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for hot showers. Not everybody has that. And I'm grateful for all the compliments that I've been getting in the last 2 or 3 days. I don't know what happened, but everywhere I turn, someone's complimenting me, and I'm grateful for it. And just to frame what a compliment is, some of you think that you live for your compliments, or you think that you can't live without a compliment. But the truth is, compliments and criticisms are just icing on your cake. You bake your own cake. You tell yourself who you are. You believe your BS, your belief system about yourself is the most important. And then if you get a compliment or you get criticism, it's just the icing. So that's actually a Happy 88 tool from this. And I'll just go ahead and give at the top of the show an Asian Oprah giveaway. If you would like to have an audiobook copy of this today, just go to drmarissa.life and put in gratitude sandwich as the keyword, and you will get a copy of that. Also, let's see, the third thing, so hot showers, compliments that I've been getting. I got recognized. It's funny, people always say to me, you spend a lot of time on social media, and it's not something you get paid for. Why do you do it, or how do you have the time? And to be honest, I really enjoy it. I enjoy putting things out that make people laugh. I love those little happy face reactions, or when someone makes a comment, and when I comment, I try to do something that elicits a laugh just because it makes me feel better. And I actually am getting rewarded for me. I got my first check from Meta, which was really kind of cool, and for doing something that I love. So if you if you enjoy doing videos, if you enjoy something like that, I would challenge you, instead of posting something negative or argumentative or something that you believe strongly in and you think everybody else is wrong for it, that you might turn your energies into, making something that makes people think and laugh or feel good about themselves. So wouldn't it be great if everybody just asked 3 questions before they posted? Is it kind? Is it true? And is it necessary? So I'm way off tangent on that, but it just popped in my head that I would want to share that. Another gratitude that I am in is I'm grateful that even though I am not happy about the fact that I broke 2 toes and I cannot go out on the water on wet Wednesdays like I normally do during the season, I quickly found something to replace it that makes me very happy, and that's going over to my bonus mom and dads, and I got to watch a program that I don't normally watch, which is America's Got Talent. And I don't know what happened, but Simon's like way nicer than he used to be. Like, I keep waiting for him to be negative. And somebody told me that he went through some kind of health challenge and he's like a different person. So kudos to Simon for he's critical still, but he does it in a nice way. And actually his criticisms are great. So I'm grateful that I get to spend more time with my bonus mom and dad. And I'm grateful that my dad and I are writing a song together called Hey Siri. I'm grateful that we have articles on Medium that we co-wrote that will make you laugh about idioms and language that has changed with different generations. I am grateful that I am going to watch the Elvis movie tonight. Looking forward to that with my movie buddies. And finally, my 8th gratitude is that I know how to make myself feel better. And it wasn't overnight, but it definitely helps me stay in the most positive mood. And why do I do that? Because it just simply makes me feel better. So there's your top of the bun, 8 gratitudes. I hope you did them. If you haven't, go ahead and type them out anywhere or turn to the person beside you and do that. And then the bottom of the bun is tonight, before you go to bed, what are 8 things that you appreciate about yourself? So I appreciate that I'm going to double back on my gratitude. I appreciate that I know how to self-soothe and make myself feel better, so I don't have to go looking for somebody else to do that for me. I appreciate that I know that everything happens for my divine and best good. I appreciate that I know that, there's a belief system that nothing bad should happen to us in life. And that's a BS that keeps us unhappy, because life has things that we don't like and don't understand. And I believe that it's for us to grow from and to chisel us into more strength and more resilience, and also our ability to help people who are going through similar things. So I appreciate that I know that and that I teach that. That's 5. I appreciate that I have a very open mind for inspired thought. I appreciate that I know how to have fun. And finally, I appreciate that I am imperfectly perfect, that I don't beat up on myself quite as much as I used to. So there's my 8 appreciations of myself. I hope that you have appreciated yourself as well. If you're a person that has a hard time with compliments, my guess is that your muscle in appreciating yourself isn't that strong. So if you want to learn how to be more self-soothing, I'm doing a free Zoom on Friday, last Friday of the month, as usual at 7 p.m. Just go to drmarissa.life. It's free. It's an hour where you can ask me anything you want. How do you start a podcast? How do you write a book? How do you promote yourself? How do you get along with people? How do you know when to hold and when to fold? How do you know if a relationship's over? All of those questions that I get to answer on the show, that I have been, you can ask me on Friday night at 7 p.m. So looking forward to Get Happy, my sessions on Friday. Also, if you just missed my happy zine, it's not too late to go to drmarissa.life. Free happy tips, and also always an Asian Oprah giveaway for you. And I think I just lost Sam, my engineer, so I'm going to give him a quick call. And when we come back, we're going to hear what's great in Denver, what's great in Northern California with Fern. And then we're going to talk about the 4 things that are worrying Americans. It's a little article that I found that had some statistics on it about what people are thinking about and worrying about, although that you and I know that 42.7% of statistics are made up on the spot. Nevertheless, we're going to go through those 4 things. So thanks for having Breakfast with Dr. Marissa. We'll be right back with more Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. And I lost. Welcome to Balanced Tai Chi Gong. My name is Dr. Marissa Pei. For the next 28 minutes, we will be slow dancing with the universe in a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. Just follow the sound of my voice and move with me as I guide you through this ancient wisdom through New Thought practice. As a corporate psychologist, I created this practice in response to my life and those of my clients. We were professional, high achievement-oriented, multitasking control freaks and exhausted. No matter how many successes, it was never enough. That, coupled with a painful life experience, led me on a quest to find another way to live and back to my Chinese roots. If you practice regularly, I can promise you that it will impact all health vortexes, body, mind, spirit, soul. You will be in a place of balance and inner peace the way we were created. 谢谢. Be my partner, dance with me, just hold on, I will.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube channel, where you will get all 724 shows over the past 9 years, as well as my red carpet playlist with interviews most recently a couple weeks ago with The Temptations and his grandson, Trace Austin. The founder, Otis Williams, was there, and I got the backstage interview, and then Trace and his mom, the beautiful, came on and actually did a show. So you can get both of those, as well as, let's see, we have interviews with Lieutenant Uhura, with the nanny, with some Olympic gold medalists, Shannon Miller, with my shows with Corey Feldman, and let's see, Marianne Williamson. So I have like a plethora of different kinds of shows for you. I've also pulled out, if you want some spot coaching for free, there's all of my life balance, happy coaching shows, caller shows, as well as some specific shows on series. There's a series with Chris, who came on and was coached for how to release the pain that he got from being molested by a priest. So that's, pretty painful and horrible. And can you really get past pain like that? And you can. As well, there's different playlists now that I've spent quite a bit of time sorting for you, so you don't have to go try to figure out what you want. So I hope you appreciate those. And of course, as much as you can to give me the finger, which is a thumbs up, would be awesome. And I am, let's see. Oh, yes. The commercial you just saw about balanced Tai Chi Gong is a moving meditation that promotes inner peace one breath at a time. And I'm happy and delighted to be offering those classes again on the beach every last Saturday, which is this Saturday at 10 a.m. So hopefully I'll see you at the beach. It's just on a donation basis. You can go to drmarissa.life to register, and it'll give you all the instructions on how to get here. As well, if you don't live in Southern California, you can also donate and get a free download that you can use at home. It's very easy to follow. It's not as difficult as traditional yoga. And I actually created it in response to my hips that don't lie. I've had double hip replacements. And so it's very easy on the body, in case you're wondering. And it's a combination of Tai Chi and Qigong and a little bit of happiness coaching. All right. So next, I'm going to bring you a little interview that I did with Jennifer Weatherhead. And if you've ever thought about going to Denver, here are some reasons why. Some fun summer news, because it's finally here. And if you haven't already made plans for vacation, now is the time. I have travel expert Jennifer Weatherhead joining us live from Denver to share ways the Mile High City is ready to entertain this summer. Weatherhead has visited 73 countries, hiking in Peru, the Wadi Rum Desert in Jordan, and she's been diving with the great white sharks in South Africa. Please welcome to my show, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So let's start with this. Tell us where you are and why you recommend Denver as a getaway.
Yes, so I am at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and it has to have one of the best views of the city, overlooking those beautiful Rocky Mountains as a backdrop. And you can really live it up in Denver this summer, because the Mile High City is ready to entertain and inspire with urban adventures, outdoor activities, and so many special events that are happening this summer.
It looks fabulous. It almost looks like an oil painting. So what can travelers look forward to this summer in Denver?
Yeah, I think that there's really no place like Denver during the summer months, because you have those beautiful Rocky Mountain views, and you can get that on a rooftop patio while you're planning out your next epic adventure. And of course, you can attend an amazing outdoor concert at the legendary Red Rocks Amphitheater. It was the highest attended concert venue in the world last year. And there are also just so many festivals happening here. We have Denver Pride Fest, Taste of Colorado, and of course the Cherry Creek Arts Festival. There's really something happening all the time during the summer in Denver.
And don't we need it? We have to re-exercise our muscle for traveling and enjoying life again now that we're peaking out of the pandemic. Tell us what art and cultural experiences to try.
Yeah, so there's really something for everyone in Denver when it comes to arts and culture. So like I mentioned, there's the Red Rocks, which is an amazing concert venue. It's truly magical. I'm going to be seeing a concert there later this week. I'm so excited. And then you have the Denver Art Museum, and it just went under a major renovation, $150 million renovation. And this summer they have 3 exhibits that are celebrating female artists. We also have, for families, the only Clifford Still Museum in the world, which has a really great exhibit of art selected by children. And then right here at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, we have the Egypt, the Time of Pharaohs exhibit, and it will take you back through the ancient times of Egypt while you're still staying right here in Denver.
Wow. And a lot of those are outdoor adventures. I'm not sure we may have covered all of them.
No, there's so many things that you can do when it comes to outdoor adventures when you have the Rocky Mountains behind you. So we're talking about cycling, whitewater rafting, kayaking, rock climbing, and so much more. And it's all within a really short drive of Denver. And I really just love that you can pair all of this mountain adventure during the day and then return to the city so you can feast on a rooftop patio, or you can grab a craft beer along the Denver Beer Trail. The neighborhoods in Denver are just so full of life and arts and culture. And I really love that Denver can serve as a great base camp. So you can go play in the mountains during the day and then have a great city experience and stay in Denver each night.
Wow. I had no idea that Denver had so much more than just the Rocky Mountain High. And what does Denver have to offer for sports fans?
Yeah, so this year Denver is buzzing because they obviously had the Stanley Cup Finals here with the Colorado Avalanche. But even if you're not a hockey fan, there are still 6 professional sports teams in Denver. And during the summer, I love taking in a great baseball game, one of America's favorite pastimes. And the Colorado Rockies play at Coors Field, and it might just be one of the most beautiful ballparks in the entire country, if you ask me.
Of course. And where can we go for more information?
Yeah, so you can go to visitdenver.com, and it will really inspire you to make your next trip here to Denver.
Well, you've done a lot of traveling, and if you're telling me that Denver is a place that I need to go, I'm going to listen to you. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming in studio and showing great places to go in Denver. One more time, where can they go for more information?
Visitdenver.com.
Fantastic. Great to meet you, Jennifer. Best of everything.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I love what I get to do and meet interesting people because of this. And welcome to Bailey on my Instagram. It's always fun to play with all the social media and the ability to connect. The next little clip I'm going to show you is, as I mentioned, one of my favorite people on the planet, Fern, who owns Ferns Gardens. And I know that there's plenty of people listening locally who just love that store in Long Beach. And I know that they would visit often because I would always get a message, oh, I saw your book at Ferns Garden. And she did launch my #1 bestseller before it was a #1 bestseller. And I'm so grateful. And I got to go up and do another book signing at her store in Berkeley when I was up there for my beloved daughter's, my younger daughter's graduation at UC Davis. And I'm not going to embarrass her, but if you want to see her video of her graduating and also getting accolades from the department head for a special outstanding performance award, go to my YouTube channel and then you can see that. But here's Fern. Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah, and I'm in Berkeley, California. This weekend, y'all know my little one graduated from UC Davis, woohoo, this morning. And I thought I would visit one of my favorite people on the planet. You'll remember her because I launched 8 Ways to Happiness, the #1 bestseller, in her store in Long Beach. And now, because I'm close to Berkeley, I called her and said, how would you like to have a book signing today? And of course she said, yes, please. Yes, and so I'm here, and I just want you to meet just one of the best people on the planet, not only because she did my book launch, but because she helps artists. So, Fern, I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. And when you call me, it says, who are you and what do you want? So, who are you and what do you want?
Well, I am an American maker. I've been a maker for so long that they changed the name. I started out as a craftswoman, then I became an artisan, and now the terminology is maker. Oh. And so I have been making things and selling things for 40 years. And what I want is for everybody to know that they can also be makers if they have that in their heart, and that there is a river that flows out there, and there's money to be made and livings to be had. I've never worked any place but doing my own thing. And the other thing is, I want people to know that when they shop in an American handmade store, American handcrafted, fair trade store, they're supporting directly the artists. And everything in my store is ethically made, and I just want people to take a look and see where things are made before they buy them. That would be my biggest dream.
Oh, well, absolutely. We can do that because We do need to support artists, especially after this thing called the pandemic.
Especially.
And I do love the fact that you really are such a support to creativity. You're creative yourself. And she's talking about retirement and having a business that we'll have her on the show to talk about it when it goes into warp drive. But I love the idea of helping artists understand the business.
Right.
Of selling.
There's an imbalance. You can graduate from art school, you can have all the magnificent talent in the world, but you don't know how to use it in order to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
And I know how.
Yes, you do. All right, you know the drill. Peace in, peace out.
Yeah.
Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live, balancing out all the bad news with good news.
Yay.
With people who are good. Love you so much. All right. Isn't she amazing? I collect good people, and I'm very lucky for that. So go visit her up in Northern California, and we're going to go now to answer the question of the day, which is what worries you? And the four topics that I am going to show you right now. Figure out where I put it. There it is. I came across this article. It was published in the Very Well publication by Amy Morin, who is an LCSW, and Claire Gillespie. And this was actually a year ago, but I thought, it still applies. And the four areas are financial instability, political instability, future pandemic, and global warming, and what Americans are worrying about right now from the silent generation to Gen Z. So in order to sort of frame how we're going to talk about this, I'm just going to play the little promo instead of going out on break. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. And what I love to do at least once a week is to talk about the headlines, but not in the way that every other news station does, and with shock or if it bleeds, it leads. But this is what I'm trying to do. So see if we'll be able to do it. Does the news scare you in the morning? I actually take my phone and plug it in outside of my bed, because I know that when I pick it up first thing in the morning, that more often than not, what I'm swiping is not good news. Some of us have forgotten that we can actually use the most powerful tool we have, called choice, to choose whether to listen to the news or not, or where we get our news. So that's why I'm so delighted to invite you to my show, 8 a.m. every weekday morning, called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show that focuses on hope and happiness and solutions to problems, instead of just ranting and raving about what's wrong with the world and what's wrong with people. Instead, I want you to find out what is good about you, good about the world, and good about our ability to be human kind. So please join me at 8 a.m. every weekday morning for Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listeners behind. So I'm glad, Sam, that actually doubles as a station ID break. So I covered two birds with that commercial. How's that? So here we go. Those four things that were in the article, I don't think it's changed. And so what I'd like to do is start with the headline and actually go through what might be going through your mind, because I like to keep it real. And I'm not a person that follows George Costanza's father, who says serenity now, no matter if I'm feeling serenity or not. But let's talk about financial instability first. And that hit all of us during COVID. I don't know anyone who did not suffer some kind of loss. So it's a real concern. Losing money is a concern. The money lost that we'll never get back is a concern. It was great that in our country, we actually had administration that offered us stimulus checks. And I've heard, lots of complaints. It's not enough. It's not on time. We didn't get it, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is I want to pick up that end of the stick that says, I'm grateful that we had something. And some of us got PPP loans as well. So when I am appreciative of that, instead of complaining about that, that feels, oh, sorry, I went to Heartlines already. Let's stay with the headlines. So how do I feel about the impact of economic loss and insecurity? I am worried. I'm anxious. I'm in fear. It's sad that so many small businesses lost their livelihood. It's sad that some, I'm sure you've driven down and seen, space available and thought, oh no, my favorite restaurant or my favorite store, and I feel bad for them and your own losses. So there is justified concern, justified worry, justified anger. It's not fair. Why did this happen to me? Justified sadness. And so all of those feelings are normal. And it is important, as I always say, to feel them fully. That's in the head. That is bringing that anxiety and recognizing it, and then going to the heart line. So the transition, I always use my 3-breath technology. So we've said all of those things, and now we take a deep breath in and releasing soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees, and that activates our body. Another breath in and releasing all the stories and the drama, which we just released, by telling it as it is. And then one more deep breath in, connecting with me through chi, eternal energy, the breath of life that connects us all, that connects us with the power that created the worlds, that made sure that the planets did not crash into each other last night. And in our bodies, it helps us process food without us telling it to. So that is activating the spirit side or the soul side. From that place, I can choose now thoughts and ways in which to soothe all of that away. And why is that important to do? If you live a life in worry and fear and anxiety, you impact your own immunity system. You will get sick. And there's a virus out that will knock you down and potentially even take your life if you do not have a strong immune system. So how do you strengthen your immune system? Yes, there's booster shots. Absolutely. You heard my little interview with Larry Namer, the co-founder of E Entertainment, when he was at the Red Carpet event of Greg's the other night. And he said, medical science. And I'm also a big proponent of let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. As far as Western medicine, certainly Eastern medicine is just as important, but we have a vaccination, we have booster shots, so that will help your immune. The other side of your immune system is highly impacted by your thoughts. So I promise that if you stay in worry, if you're a worry wart, and even hashtag BC19 when you weren't worried as much, and you compound all those worries with the pandemic, you will get sick. And so this is a scientific discovery now by, reputable medical schools, Harvard, Scripps, Mayo Clinic. All of them are very clear that your mood and your BS, your belief systems that create your mood, and your emotions can either bring you up or take you down. So I'm encouraging you to choose things to think about that make you feel better. So here's some of the things about economics insecurity. So if you're a person that has, most of us know we can make money somehow. So you're the same person. You may have lost, but you can make money again. You can recover. And it might be, they say, I love the expression, if it's not, it's always this or better. So if it's not this, it's going to be something better. And, I have coaching clients who come and say, I hate my job. I hate this relationship. And then when it ends, they come and cry. And I remind them that you actually hated it. And sure enough, 6 months, 8 months, a year, 5 years later, they have a better job, a better relationship, and they go, oh, armchair quarterback, I see now why that happened. So it's my BS, my belief system, that you can hold true, that it's always this or better. And another expression that helps in these situations is more will be revealed. I don't understand why the pandemic happened. I do not understand why we went through what we went through. I do not understand, what is the reason for all of this loss? I don't understand. But I know that if I keep asking that question, it'll bring me down. It'll make me think more negatively. I talked yesterday about the labyrinth of shiitake, stinking thinking, with my new actor friend. We talked about this yesterday. The labyrinth of shiitake, you start at sinking thinking, and then worst case scenario, and then the effinator. You don't want to go down that slide. It will impact your health. It'll make you feel bad. And life is too short to be feeling bad all the time. Yes? Yes. So more will be revealed on top of it's always this and better. And then the tool that I always use is I can't wait to see what good comes out of this. So you can be asking that question. What good did the pandemic bring to me? And when I ask that question of myself, I find so many hashtag COVID silver linings. I put out my first film that I never had time for. I did more writing that I never had time for. I have a new job as a broadcast journalist, covering the news on location. And that came from playing Candy Crush. I saw an ad in there, and the next thing you know, I am doing On Location, and that helped with bringing great stories onto this show because I got promoted during COVID. Fred said, how would you like to go from once a week to a daily morning show? And I said, I'd love to, not thinking through that 5 shows versus 1 was a lot more work, but I love it. And it's been a year now. I'm celebrating 1 year this month of being every morning on the morning show. So there are things, if you choose to look for them, that comes from a feeling of optimism and gratitude and hope and appreciation. What did you learn about yourself? What good did come out of the pandemic? No, it may not make up for what you lost, but honestly, if you focus on those things, then you widen yourself up for more solution. When you are in the downers, when you are in that despair and that hopeless place, you will not find inspired thought. You will not have a good idea. You will not have a way to get out of what you're going through. I promise. So there's another good reason to bring yourself up, and you are the best person to do that. People have abdicated their own power by letting news producers or social media producers or whoever's operating the algorithms in AI to put stuff in front of you to distract you. And I can lose an hour of my life pressing and scrolling on things that absolutely they might be interesting. Oh, that's interesting, but they don't make a difference in my life. They're not that important. They don't really help me except have something to talk about stupid in the elevator with someone, or to react to, or to get angry about. Like, really, time is the most valuable resource we all have. So let's, Nike, Gospel according to Nike, just do it. take your finger away from your phone, set your phone down, and ask yourself, what can I do right now to make myself feel better and to do something? You know, when you do something and achieve something, it does make you feel better. All right, so let's go to a second piece of news. Did you understand the process we just went through? Good. I see you nodding. Political instability. This is something that we're all, again, worried about. Every day something comes up on the news about something political, about some who did who wrong, and something about Earth and the natural crisis, climate change. You know, those three categories are always there in the news. So political instability, if you are red, you hate blue. If you're blue, you hate red. I am so tired of the way politics has completely blockaded things that need to be done. I'm going to go right now to some practical thing that you can do about the gun violence if you don't like it. I just got I'm on the text list for the Sandy Hook Promise. I covered this on the show a couple of weeks ago. Please do go to sandyhook.org. And you can, if you live in California, write these numbers down. Ready? So the Senate will vote on the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act tomorrow. So it needs 60 votes to move to the final step. This is a good thing. Bipartisan is one of my favorite words. It means that you are going to rise above your political stance, whatever it is, and work together to do something that is going to help our country, our community, ourselves, our kids. Number one, our kids. So this one is call both of your senators right now and urge them to vote yes to help protect kids from gun violence. Ready? Senator Dianne Feinstein's number. And Sam, if you have a minute and can type this in the chat for people, that would be awesome. 120-222-43841. 120-222-43841. There's a lot of numbers there. I'm not quite sure, but that's what was sent to me. If that doesn't work, just go to Senator Dianne Feinstein. And then secondly, Senator Alex Padilla, it's 120-222-43553. Senator Alex Padilla, 43553. And those are two numbers that you can do something about if you want to stop gun violence. And these are the inspired actions. Thank you so much, Sam, for putting those there. To call Dianne Feinstein, that's the number here, and to call Alex Padilla, there's the number here. I'm going to leave Diane's number up for a bit so that you can do your part. So that's inspired action. That is something where you actually can do something instead of worrying. But when you cannot do something, right, you cannot control what's going, what the last president's doing right now. You cannot control it. You cannot control what they're doing in the Senate hearings. You cannot control those things. If you worry about things you cannot control, it's wasted time. It's wasted worry. Plus, there's a brilliant Native American saying that says, worry is like a prayer for bad things to happen. Let that sink in. Worry is a prayer to have bad things happen. You do not want to worry. Please, worry-free zone. Advanced people go to my 21-day fast from complaining, so you can't complain or worry. All right, so that's the news about political instability, and that's what we can do about it. And then, let's see, the third one is future pandemic. What is going to happen? Is this going to happen? Is this not? I'm going to also group in global warming. So those are the percentages of the top 4 concerns about the future for the silent generation to Gen Z. I raise these things not so you have something more to worry about, but I'm using them as specific examples of how you can take the headline and what the worry is. So let's, the third one was, when is this pandemic going to be over? Like really, So you heard Larry Namer. It's not over. You know, in his mind, it's still going to go. We're not through it. I heard yesterday cases are spiking again. I heard yesterday more people are in the hospital again. I heard yesterday death numbers are going up. Okay. I go to my reputable media that's in the middle to see, and I go to Johns Hopkins to really look at the data that they've been doing since the beginning of the pandemic. And does it concern me? Absolutely. Can I do anything about anyone else except me? No. So whether you believe and agree with Larry, or whether you believe with my other spotlight interview with Brian Smith, founder of UGG Boots, and he's the other extreme, which is it's just a virus, it's not a big deal, you know, get out there, live your life. And who's right? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. All I know is that for me, I'm going to do what I can to keep my immune system up, including doing headlines to heartlines, and to also encourage people to get vaccinated and take the boosters, because even though there are breakthrough cases, it is for the majority of the time helping people. So again, do I recognize that I'm a little bit anxious and concerned? Yes, you recognize that. Global warming, same thing. Are things being affected right now by our past actions and not taking care of our environment? Absolutely. Is the beautiful Great Barrier Reef where I got to scuba dive dying? Yes, it is. Are there less ice glaciers in Alaska? Yes, there is. So we cannot say that things are not happening. Am I going to go to the extreme and say we're not going to have a world left? No, because I know that the world and Earth, Mother Nature, does still have the power to replenish, but we have to also act like we're part of this environment. So headlines again, heartlines. Do I stay in fear about that? Am I going to run around and we're not going to have a world anymore? Absolutely not. Am I going to do what I can to not shop at places that pollute the oceans and pollute the environment with the old way of looking at energy? No, I'm not going to shop there. No, I'm not going to promote what they're doing. I am going to do what I can. But am I going to stay and worry about climate change? No. Am I going to post? And whenever I hear an ambulance, by the way, I take a deep breath in and I send out peace and comfort and hope that whatever's going on will be resolved without life harmed. Okay. And I'm taking global warming and political instability and pandemic, when is it going to end? All of those things, again, I bring down to my heart and I soothe myself. I tell myself there's no sense to live in fear. Fear stands for future events already ruined. I can acknowledge it. That sucks, or however I want to, be angry or sad about it. And then I bring it down and go, okay, how does this impact me? I'm going to choose something that makes me feel better. And then I go to my smartphone, which houses so many cute videos of things that are easy to feel good about. You have them too. Aren't you grateful for your smartphone? I mean, you can go at any time, and then we have tons of entertainment and people posting my reels. All of that, you can do that to feel better. So hopefully I've answered your question on how can I get out of worry today, and know that it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Thanks for joining me today for show number 425. We'll see you tomorrow. Go forth and have the best day ever.